For years, the story of Jeffrey Epstein has been this dark, tangled maze of power, money, and horrific crimes. The so-called Epstein Files were supposed to be the flashlight that would finally cut through the darkness. But instead, well, it seems they've just plunged us into an even deeper, more confusing mystery. So let's dive in and try to make sense of a document release that has gone completely off the rails.
So, picture this. The deadline for the big file release, December 19th, comes and goes. And just when we think we're about to get some answers, the Department of Justice drops a total bombshell. They've found over 1 million more documents. 1 million. These are files that were supposedly missing for years. And this comes after months of them telling everyone, don't worry, we're ready. How does that even happen?
And you can bet the backlash was immediate. Legal analyst Nima Romani pretty much said what everyone was thinking, calling it another continued embarrassment for the Department of Justice. He really hit the nail on the head. See, this wasn't just some minor slip-up. It was a massive red flag. It suggested that this whole process was fundamentally broken right from the very start.
Okay, so this brings us to the heart of the matter, the evidence itself. What have we actually been allowed to see? And, maybe more importantly, what does the quality of these documents tell us about what's really going on behind the scenes?
And get this. It's insane to think about. With over 1 million files still kept hidden away, what we've seen is likely less than 1% of the entire story. And the tiny fraction we do have, it's a disaster. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of pages that are just solid black boxes. It's like they just took a giant black marker to everything. This isn't just sloppy work. You have to wonder if it's preventing us from seeing the truth on purpose.
You're not going to believe this next part. The incompetence is just staggering. It wasn't some elite team of hackers that broke through the DOJ's redactions. It was regular people just messing around on their computers. They discovered you could literally just copy the blacked out text and paste it into a notepad, and boom, hidden information would appear. And it wasn't information protecting victims. No, it was financial details the DOJ was explicitly told not to hide. It's such a basic failure, it really fuels that nagging question. Are these really just mistakes?
Oh, but it gets weirder. The technical glitches just kept piling up. There was a bizarre error where if you searched for the name Trump, you got nothing unless you knew to add a space at the end. I mean, come on. Then key photos mysteriously vanished from the files, only to quietly reappear after people started noticing and making noise. And then there's this. The DOJ put out a special disclaimer just for claims about the president, a courtesy they didn't extend to anyone else. With every single one of these mistakes, you start to lose faith, right?
All right, let's shift gears and talk about the people at the center of this web. For years, we've been fed this narrative that it was just Epstein and maybe Ghislaine Maxwell. But the documents we're seeing now, they're blowing that whole lone wolf story to absolute pieces.
So this was the official line. The story they wanted us to believe, delivered under oath to Congress. The FBI director was crystal clear. Epstein acted alone, for himself, and there was no evidence of a bigger trafficking network. Remember that quote. Remember he said it under oath.
Yeah, about that sworn testimony? Turns out it might have been a flat-out lie. Because buried deep inside these newly released documents, there's an email from an FBI agent. It was sent just hours after Epstein was arrested in 2019. And in it, the agent asks for an update on, wait for it, 10 potential co-conspirators. 10. The FBI knew from day one.
And this is where the plot thickens. We know 3 of the names on that FBI target list. Ghislaine Maxwell, of course, French modeling agent Jean-Luc Brunel, and the billionaire Leslie Wexner, Epstein's financial mentor. But look at that. 7 other names, just gone, wiped clean with a black marker. These aren't just random people. The FBI had them on a target list for years. So the million-dollar question is, who are they, and why on earth are they still being protected?
And this web, it goes all the way to the top. I mean, we're talking about royalty. Check out this email, which is believed to have been sent from Prince Andrew to Ghislaine Maxwell. He asks, have you found me some new inappropriate friends? It's just, I mean, it's pretty damning, isn't it? That sounds an awful lot like he's asking her to find women for him. It's about as close to a smoking gun as you can get.
So you look at all this, the glitches, the lies, the hidden names, and it really all boils down to one huge question. Are we watching a deliberate, calculated cover-up designed to protect the powerful? Or is this just the most incompetent investigation in modern history?
Let's break it down. You've got 2 main theories floating around. On one hand, you have the cover-up theory. The idea here is that all this chaos isn't chaos at all. It's on purpose. It's meant to protect billionaires, politicians, maybe even royalty. Then you have theory number 2.
Good old-fashioned incompetence. That the government bureaucracy is just so massive and clunky that they've completely bungled the whole thing. But you know what? At the end of the day, whether it's malice or just sheer sloppiness, the result is exactly the same. Justice is not being served.
And here's the thing. To really get what's happening right now, you have to zoom out. This mess we're in, this didn't just start last month. This is just the latest, disastrous chapter in a story of failure that has been going on for decades.
Just look at this timeline. It tells a story of one missed opportunity after another. 1996. The FBI was warned about Epstein way back then. And what did they do? Nothing. Then in 2008, he gets that infamous sweetheart plea deal that basically let him and all his powerful friends off the hook. It took until 2019 to finally arrest him again. And now, today, we're right back where we started, staring at a mountain of 1 million unread files. Every one of these dates is a point where this nightmare could have been stopped. And it wasn't.
You know, this whole saga really hammers home a feeling that a lot of people have had for a long, long time. It's this idea of a two-tier justice system, right? There's one set of laws for you and me, and then there's a completely different, much softer set of rules for the super rich and the well-connected. And honestly, can you blame people for losing faith in the system when you see something like this? This case has become Exhibit A.
So in the end, we're left with a case that's been built on a foundation of ignored warnings, shady backroom deals, and now a document release that's a complete train wreck. It just makes you wonder, after all this time, after all these failures, are we ever going to get the real story? Will the full truth ever see the light of day?